Check it out. Check it out. This is Nick Flanagan Weekly. What's up, friends? I'm Nick Flanagan. Welcome to Nick Flanagan Weekly. Your 4 times a week source for me. And sometimes a guest. It's looking like things might shake out to be 1 guest a week. How would you feel about that? Would you feel good? Yes, would. It's nice to be back, nice to be talking to you. Listen to this day or night, morning, late evening, twilight time if you can't sleep. I want you to be just addicted to this program. Send any comments or questions to weaklypodcast@gmail.com, WEAKLY podcast@gmail.com. I will answer any question, talk about any topic you want me to. I think I forgot to clean my glasses today. That happens to me all the time. Apparently cleaning your glasses is a whole thing that you should do. Multiple times a day, allegedly. Live and learn. That was something that was really funny in a book about ADD that I read. Actually, the Gabor Mate. No, ADD Stole My Car Keys by Dr. Jane and Rick Green. Definitely a worthwhile book to read if you want to learn more about ADD. But I would say if you really want to learn about ADD, do Delivered from Distraction and Driven to Distraction. If honestly, that'll and also Gabor Mate, Scattered Mind. Those will open your mind to the severity of what that is for a lot of people. But anyway, I was reading this book and it had a section about fashion and it said that they would wear anything, an ADD person will wear like the craziest stuff. And it's super true until I still sometimes will wear something that does not fit. That's my main problem. I would go to Value Village, find a sweater I liked or a shirt I liked, put it on no matter how small it was. For some reason, if it was big, I wouldn't like it. They'd have to be tiny. I spent my 20s wearing crop tops, and it's less cute than it sounds because of how hairy I am. What a day. This is the day when the rollout happened. This is the day when Donald Trump's genitals were described. No! Oh my. And the best part is that it was a video game comparison. That is the era we live in. Retro video gaming is created the comparison. Stormy Daniels, clearly a child of the 80s, probably my age, maybe a bit older. And I'm going to get to Stormy Daniels in a second. I have a humongous amount of respect for her. Oh my god. She described his penis as a looking like the character Toad from, most famously, I would say, Super Mario Brothers 2. I believe he was like Mario's retainer, if I recall his description at some point. If you don't know what a retainer is, it's kind of like your understudy, your squire, but a little more skilled than your average squire. That's how I would define a retainer, or his lawyer. But I don't think he. Toad kind of was Mario's lawyer. I can't stop laughing about this. Not because I think his genitals sound funny. It's literally what the comparison is. Because, by the way, this thing where people are like shaming people for having weird genitals is completely insane. speaks so well to the horror of our culture right now. On both sides. The fact that, like, we're like, because and it's a funny extent. It is a funny extension of what women have had to go through for so long, that they're so angry that they're like really quick to be like, you have a small dick and you have a weird dick, because they've had to deal with small dicks and weird dicks all their lives. But I don't think that bitterness or anger or singling out somebody's appearance, any level of it, as payback for having that happen in the past, I don't think that that's a good way to go about life. I think that will create the world that we live in, which activates all anxieties. New anxieties. Yeah. So apparently his penis looks like Toad from, Mario Brothers 2 and the Mario series. And we could call it the Luigi series. Luigi's been there since day one. Day uno. Is that the Italian word? I know that's Spanish. Is it the same? Doesn't it feel like Italian and Spanish would be like, they say numbers the same? Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Okay. So yeah, she also described it as being smaller than average, but not crazy small. So what does that mean when a porn star says smaller than average? Is she saying her average? Because that would probably be a larger penis normally. And that it was the most mediocre sex she'd ever had, which, again, maybe it just didn't feel intimate. Maybe, and this would be hard to believe, Donald Trump has intimacy issues? That'd be crazy. But anyway, what's funny is, in the build-up, so this is in her tell-all book that just came out and is going to make her so much money. And maybe stop her from appearing on porn. You know, you ever accidentally go to a porn site and then you ever accidentally on purpose go to a porn site twice in a day, and both times this weird pop-up ad comes and it's like Stormy Daniels topless and she's like, hey, I'm Stormy Daniels and you may know me from some stuff lately, and you should check out this other porn website. Maybe she'll not have to do that anymore, but I don't think that's how Americans work. I think it's like, is there more you can do? Do it. But maybe not Stormy Daniels. Because to me, I saw Stormy Daniels on The View the other day. I watched some appearance with her and Michael Avenatti, and she was awesome. I had actually never really seen her before, and I'd written off the whole thing as just being annoying. But I thought she was amazing. And I liked Avenatti, you know. I think he's got some weird agendas and stuff, and it does make it about him. But he wasn't as bad as I thought. And Stormy Daniels was great. And when I didn't even realize what the GOP people were saying. It's like the way that they're trying to shame Stormy Daniels for being a sex worker, which she's proud of, is disgusting. The way Rudy Giuliani talks about her is disgusting. And there is no excuse for it. And he should lose his job, frankly. But of course he won't. And I'm not even talking about him and whatever his policies are. I'm just saying, like, someone who talks about that, like, that way about a tax-paying person, about someone who is doing a service for men, basically, is disgusting. And the one thing I will say about Trump, I thought about this with Trump, is as far as I know, he's not really talking about it, that it's a big deal that she's a porn star. I mean, maybe because he went on Howard Stern so much. And probably because he's had sex with so many porn stars. But, The one thing I will also say about him, and it's not exactly a compliment, is as far as I know, he hasn't called her ugly or anything, which is his go-to thing to call women who criticize him, is to go after their appearance. And I think it's because she claimed, I mean, it sounds like she had sex with him. Because she's a sex partner, I don't think he can say that he thinks she's ugly in any way, because that would imply he had sex with a person who's ugly, which of course he would never do. Oh my god, unless someone is physically perfect, you can't have sex with them. That's why no one has ever had sex with me. But when I finally saw Stormy Daniels, I was like, damn, she's cool. I'm sorry that I just thought she was some Omarosa, just a part of the sideshow, which she is, but she's like, I think this is in the long run going to be really good for sex workers' rights, or at least I hope it is, because this is what concerns me more than what colleges think about each other or what people think about each other. It's literally like, how can we stop people from being mistreated just because of who they are? How can we stop people from dying of things needlessly? So, what does that mean? Drug addiction, protect the rights of sex workers, protect trans rights, and gay rights too, and birth rights. When I say birth rights, I obviously mean, reproductive rights. And I'm sorry if that bothers you, that is my belief. But I really hope most people born in 1980 who are not religiously bound to feel this way, do feel this way. Because you have so many peers who are these things, who need birth control. You can have your libertarian, you should pay for it thing. I don't agree with that. But you can have that. But, yeah, if you're not there with that, I don't know what to say to you. And Stormy Daniels, I don't think Michael Avenatti should run for president. I think you should run for president. Because, think about that campaign. All she needs to do is talk about his dick. Like the whole campaign. I might not vote for her if she did that because I don't like the body shaming. But, it's dirty politics. He started it, which is exactly what I was arguing against at the beginning of this. Boy, this has been a fun one. I didn't even make any notes. I just really wanted to talk about Kavanaugh, etc. Yeah. So, I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to Nick Flanagan Weekly. Let me know what you thought of this, because I laughed a lot. Did a lot of stuff. Comments or questions, weaklypodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Nick Flanagan Weekly. Nick Flanagan Weekly on Twitter. You can support me by going to bandcamp.com, nickflanagan.bandcamp.com. My album's up there for free, but if you want to just throw me any money for it, you can definitely do that. It's pay what you can. It's called White Privilege. And it's on Spotify, iTunes as well. If you want to pick it up there, that's great. Comedy Dynamics released it. If you want to request it on SiriusXM, all of these things help me. And, so I'll have a Patreon eventually for this, but right now, I don't. And that's my Trump Kavanaugh. I haven't even got to Kavanaugh. I want to talk about the Kavanaugh stuff. Maybe I'll do that next week when it kind of shakes out a bit more. Okay, thank you. Have a great